Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What's up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's going on?
We have a rabbit hole.
There's always another rabbit hole.
We're going to go down one. Today, we're going to we're going to talk about when is that moment where you go, oh God, this person's totally lame.
Yeah, because sometimes it's just one little thing that can open your eyes, right? Like there might be a lot of things happening and it's just one specific thing that makes you completely change your mind.
Like, you know who pops into my head first? I know
Who?
we're going to talk about a lot of people, but
Who?
was one thing that I was like, what? It was when Stu Peters goes, my body is like perfect right now. Like I could be an underwear model. And it was like ding 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 ding. It was like alarm bells went off, and I was like, who is this dude?
I thought you were going to talk about my neighbor and her German Shepherd
Well, that's another one. So if you go over to Nancy's house
or Jennifer.
or Jennifer's house and you go, excuse me, she just has the door cracked open and you poke your head in to see if you can borrow the sugar and you go, hi, Jennifer. And then you look in and Jennifer's German Shepherd is like going down on her.
Ew.
That's something where you go, ooh, I'm sorry, but then like now it's kind of hard to like get over that.
Yeah,
Like you're like,
that one little thing just changed your mind
you're
about,
like,
changed your opinion.
she was so nice. Like she brought us muffins and she's totally, her dog is great. Her dog plays with our dog, but her dog was licking her down there. And I know, I can't get over that. So I think people have that. They
Yeah,
they exhibit a behavior that's like, what do we call it? A bridge too far.
bridge too far.
It's like the bridge over the River Kwai. It's
But
like you can't.
but I think today what we're referring to is controlled opposition.
That's right.
So something happened a couple days ago that you're basically we're kind of under this mindset that anybody with a huge following is probably controlled opposition.
Yeah.
And I always like to have benefit of the doubt. And I don't want
I don't do that.
and you don't do that. And I don't want to believe everybody is like,
What's my stance?
bad. You want to believe everybody is
So this is
basically
my
bad.
stance. My stance is I think the worst,
Yeah.
and then let them pleasantly surprise you.
So guilty until proven innocent.
That's the best thing. Because then you look at Candace Owens and you go, dude, she's so lame. And then if you come around and you say, no, but look and check this out, and look, 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 and I go, good, good. Wow, I was wrong.
So speaking of which, um, I have been listening to her for a while, and I really like her investigative journalism. And she dives into a lot of subjects that we're interested in. And I find her entertaining and likable. And I like all the reports that she does. And she's been doing a lot of this stuff on Charlie Kirk lately.
Hmm.
And they all sound, legit. And
And she's smart, well
she's
spoken, and
smart,
she's
articulate.
beautiful.
She's really pretty. Um, and she's been pointing out a lot of anomalies with the whole Charlie Kirk
Yeah,
thing.
and
And
those are real.
those are real and they look super suspicious. And she's been pointing all that out. And you've been telling me she's controlled opposition. I'm like, well, maybe not because, she seems legit and um she's pointing out all these things that don't look right. And my kind of question I kept having though was how come she's not pointing out the oddities and the strange behavior of his supposed wife, Erica Kirk? Because to me, she had the weirdest behavior of all. Erica Kirk, his wife, did not act normal. She looked like she was lying to me. And she looked like she was acting and not acting well, like not acting
Like a grieving
like
wife.
a grieving wife, didn't look like she was really crying. And some of the ways she was like acting while she was delivering these speeches just looked like they were, I don't know, phony. So anyway, I had
Like
that
perhaps she was putting on a
right.
performance.
And I kept thinking about that and I wondered why Candace Owens hadn't addressed that. Well, I think she must have had enough people asking her the same thing that she finally did address that a few days ago. And sadly, she did what all of them and what she always accuses the like control opposition of doing, which is they gaslight you, and that's what she did. She basically said, you know, people were asking about Erica Kirk and why she wasn't like questioning her, and she said, well, she has not lied about anything, and you know, that's what I'm going after. I'm going after the people that have obviously been lying, and she hasn't lied about anything. So let's just drop this was her attitude.
So
And
you accidentally walked in on her German Shepherd going down on her.
yeah, and the thing is that what hasn't been all that Candace Owens has been pointing out, she's been pointing out all the odd, strange behavior of these people. Like she was actually like specifically pointing out, like, oh, this guy, look at this guy. He like didn't walk away fast enough. Like he just kind of sauntered off. That's not normal behavior. And she was pointing out all these like strange behaviors. But then when she addressed Erica Kirk a few days ago, she said, I'm not looking at behavior. I'm just looking at, you know, like the people that are obviously lying. And she like pointed out,
Why do you think the Culture Club is corralling you away from Erica Kirk?
I think she's part of the culture club.
That's right.
Hmm.
And so is Candace.
Yeah. So when she did that, I was very disappointed. And I was like, wow, she just gaslit her whole following by doing that. Because if she had said, you know, her behavior does seem a little weird, and I need to like, I need, you know, I always thought she was a nice lady, but I kind of wondering about that. I need to question that. Like I'm questioning everybody else's behavior that I see. If she would have said something like that, I would have totally been still fully on board with Candace Owens. But when she pulled out this gaslighting thing and to make it sound like it's absurd that people should be questioning her because she's not lying and didn't say anything about the odd behavior, that just made me think that, okay, you're pointing out the odd behavior of these other people. This is obviously odd behavior. How come you can't address that or at least acknowledge that it's strange? Like all your listeners and followers see it and think it's strange. How come you can't just acknowledge that it, yes, it is strange? Instead, no, she was like, no, there was nothing unusual, you know, like she just isn't lying. So that made me realize that was that one little thing that kind of made me go, you know what? I think Candace Owens might be controlled opposition too.
And these days, you have to be having that discernment.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you get blue pill.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise, you get sucked into the lies.
Yeah.
Now, so what did we learn about controlled opposition? So, remember, I told you about the um, protocols
Of
of Zion,
Zion. Yeah.
the minutes from
Mm-hmm.
that 1905 meeting from those people from 1948, just before they went and executed the Russian Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to figure out, okay, we're going to do the Russian Revolution right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we're going to take over a country and we're going to do a communist takeover. And we're probably going to kill a lot of people and we're going to become tyrants. So in order to do that, they go, well, you know, we got to kind of have a plan here. And so they go, what's the most important thing? You got to control both sides of the narrative. That's what those people from country from 1948 have to do. They have to control both sides of the narrative.
Right.
Candace Owens is playing a crucial role.
Mm-hmm.
She comes out like Winston from 1984 and she says, oh my God, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
And those people from 1948, you're right. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. But see how she corrals you?
She corrals us about that one thing.
Get away from that. Why? Because something's going on with Erica Kirk.
Yeah.
She's some kind of,
I
you
think
know,
something major is going on with Erica Kirk, and I think that's where a lot of the answers to this whole Charlie Kirk thing lie.
well, do you remember what we were talking about with that one episode? Remember we talked about the Philadelphia experiment?
Yeah.
and how they can make a boat disappear.
Mhm.
But Satan, if you look it up, Satan goes, never happened.
Yeah.
So so basically they can make stuff disappear. And you were talking about that one rack of jackets that you went and checked out.
Yeah, that was so freaky.
So you went into a department store and you saw a rack of jackets and you're like, this is cool. I want to buy one of these for my friend. She looked at the jackets too and she was
Tried
like,
it on.
I like it. She tried it on. And then you went back to buy it the next day and the people were like, what
The
jackets?
whole entire rack was gone.
And they Mandela affected you.
Yeah, and nobody had any recollection of those jackets.
So what I'm thinking is, what was Satan doing? Perception management. He was like, I don't want you seeing those jackets because what might happen? See, what do people do? They see something and then that causes a very logical chain reaction in their mind. They think about this, then they think about that, then they think about this. So they're making connections, right?
Mhm.
So if you see Erica Kirk and then you go, wait a minute, why is she wearing a Freemason ring?
Mhm.
And why is she acting like she's kind of just like party time right after her husband died?
Right.
You know? And then also her tenor is weird. So all of that, there, what Candace Owens is saying is nothing to see here.
Right.
Kind of like Satan with the Philadelphia experiment.
Mm.
Never happened.
Mhm.
You know? What they're doing is they're managing your takeaway.
Your takeaway. Exactly.
So Candace is really cool. And
Mhm.
she's, like you said, she's gorgeous and she's so smart and she's so well spoken, but she works for Satan.
I think you might be right, Firefly.
So what you did was you had one little moment, and it was kind of like when Nancy's German Shepherd's going down on her. It's
It
just
was
one little moment
one
where you
little
go,
thing
ooh.
makes you open your eyes.
And you maybe, you know what? Maybe she thinks she's so polished that what's interesting is Candace tries to blue pill her audience by acting like she fields questions from the comments. Have you
Mhm.
noticed that? She's like, no, 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 no. And she'll like ask her audience, does anybody know this guy? You know, if you do, let me know. Cause so she's like acting like it's an open dialogue between her and her audience.
Mhm. And I have to think that there must be a lot of people asking the same question I'm asking. And I also think like, you know, do they really think that we're that dumb that
That's what I was just
you
gonna
know what I
say.
mean? Like
So she
we're gonna hear her say that and just be like, "Oh yeah, okay."
so that's what so she basically um well, not see, I don't think Candace thinks for herself. I know she's smart and I know that you think she does, but she doesn't think for herself. She has very specific orders. She's probably told, go just be yourself and talk all, but she's given goalposts.
Right.
And one of those goalposts is Erica Kirk.
Mhm.
So what she was told is go field questions from the audience like you have nothing to hide and you're just completely transparent, but guide them away.
And any questions regarding Erica Kirk, don't read those. Don't read those out loud because she'll supposedly read questions out loud, whether those are real or not. I don't know, but nothing about Erica Kirk.
Have you ever heard that term? Don't assume
Mhm.
because you make an ass out of you and me.
Yeah, totally.
So what she did was she made an ass out of you and me.
Mhm.
What was her assumption that she made? It's that I can take questions from the comment section and I can just gaslight my audience. I'm smarter than them.
Mhm.
No, you're not.
I mean, so she's gonna just say like, "Oh, there's nothing abnormal about the way she's acting," even though she's like been pointing out all the anomalies and weird behaviors of these other people. But she's just gonna like tell her audience that there's nothing weird about Erica Kirk and she's not lying. So we don't need to question her or look into her at all.
You know what I bet? I bet Candace and Erica Kirk have hung out at some culture club junket where they've gone to some hotel together and they've had like a killer time and just totally toasted glasses and just reveled in how awesome they both are.
Mhm.
So now any talk about her is going to piss me off because we're bosom buddies now.
Well, I think it might even go deeper than that,
Deeper than,
Firefly.
oh, she's a lesbian?
I wasn't gonna go there, but no, I think there's definitely something with Erica Kirk. Either she is part of the plan that unalived Charlie Kirk, or Charlie Kirk is still alive and they're all in on it, and they have to steer our noticing away from Erica Kirk. I think she's a key player in this whole thing.
Well, I think that's a good unpacking on Candace. We're not saying for sure, but we're saying she kind of maybe showed a little bit of a chink in her armor as the
Yeah,
controlled opposition. Because controlled opposition, in order for it to be effective, no chinks in the armor.
right.
They have to convince their people that they're on their side.
And you know what? If I'm not convinced, I know I'm not the only one.
There's other ones.
There's other
And
ones.
you could probably go comment on her show
Uh-huh.
and probably start a conversation in that vein. Or somebody could come listen to our podcast, but I know only 21 people listen. But that's okay.
Yeah,
But let's move on to some of the other people because Candace is a can of worms that we could probably do a whole episode on Candace.
probably.
But we have a whole list of people.
Well, we have a whole list. So, do you want to hear, shall we talk about RFK Jr.?
Let's talk about him.
I
What was the time that the German Shepherd was going down on her?
that this is one of my favorites. So, he was talking a lot of good stuff about like, pokey pokes, and he's going to like improve healthcare and saying all these things that like a lot of people really liked. And then he was sort of like kind of bringing both sides together in a way, because a lot of like the liberal hippies
Yeah,
liked him, but then like he was saying a lot of stuff that like
anti cooties.
the conservative Christians liked too. So it was like kind of interesting, and it all sounded good. Especially all his anti-cooties talk, and everything sounded pretty good until this one little thing that opened my eyes. Do you want to hear about it?
Did it have something to do with the Christmas party?
Yeah.
Oh,
So, well, he's married to a Hollywood actress, so that's a red flag right
you
there.
know he's in the cult then.
Yeah. But his actress wife um, sent out Christmas invitations. This was kind of during like the middle of the Cooties fiasco. She sent out Christmas invitations with Cooties pokey poke requirements. Cooties pokey poke requirements. So, in other words, rules and requirements for the guests regarding the cooties. And when I saw that, I was like, oh no. Either he has absolutely no control over what's happening in his own household, which means that how is he going to control like the healthcare of this country? Or he's a total phony, and or his wife is just running him under the bus, and so that's the kind of marriage he has, which also probably doesn't say a
She's
lot
his
about.
handler.
Yeah. So, and then he put out some statement afterwards like, oh, you can see who wears the pants in our family. And I'm like, no, that's not good
That
enough.
doesn't explain it
That's
away.
not good enough.
He had another tell.
Another one.
See, I call these tells.
These are tells.
You know
They're
what?
showing their hand,
That's right.
right?
So, like, remember I played poker down in LA
Mm-hmm.
and I went to the casino with the bicycle?
Oh, yeah.
And remember the black dude? What was he doing?
Wasn't he wearing sunglasses?
Yeah. So he's playing Texas Hold'em. He's got headphones and sunglasses on.
Whoa.
So either he's Stevie Wonder with headphones on, or what's he doing? He's concealing his tells. So that way, if he's bluffing or he's got a good hand, you can't really get a good read on him. But these people, they aren't that smart and they're not that polished.
Right.
And you can even trump, you can still get a good read on them if they do a tell. What happened with RFK Jr. too was okay, so that was a tell. That was weird.
That was like
That was a really big
that was a big one. That
but
finished him off for me.
but he had one before that that made me start because you remember I was already questioning him back then.
You were.
And what happened was I heard him on an interview talking about that country from 1948 and how we should always defend them and we should always support them. And they have the right to defend themselves in the region. Oh, you mean they have the right to go fund Hamas and then call them the enemy and then get $5 billion from us every year just because of the straw man that they create and they fund, and then you get to go just genocide Gaza just so that you can have that area for yourself, and we're supposed to support that. That was what I started going.
Mm.
This guy's culture club. But then he came out in 2005 and he was like, The CDC is basically just a vaccine peddler. And I was like, you know what? That's a good point.
Yeah.
The CDC is just basically selling vaccines.
Yeah.
But then it came out like after he became the director of health services,
Mhm.
and he was like, you should just follow the CDC guidelines.
Yeah, that was his last big tell. Like, this whole time when he was trying to get into that position or whatever, and he's like, speaking against all the pokey pokes and this and that. And then once he got in, he's like, oh, everybody should go get the measles poke and you should all follow the CDC guidelines.
You know,
That was
another
like, oh my
there's another
God.
CO common thread that I've seen.
Hmm.
It's these dudes that have to show off their body and how sexy they are. Because RFK did that too.
Oh,
RFK Jr.
he did. Yeah.
He had a
He's in
video.
pretty good shape
He's
for
in
like,
good shape,
he's
but
like in his
still,
70s.
I'm not tuning in for that.
Yeah.
You go and show your wife how good looking you are
Right.
in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Good for you. I don't want to watch a 69-year-old man work out with his shirt off. I don't need to see that.
Yeah.
But he was like, they'll film this. See, so he intentionally had somebody film him with no shirt on
Right.
working out.
Yeah.
Dude, really? You're 69 and you need that kind of validation? That's a tell. You're in the culture club.
So who else did that? Who else talks about their body all the time?
Alex Jones.
Alex
So
Jones.
Alex Jones, so we're talking about, so let's call it the German Shepherd moment.
The German Shepherd moment. Okay.
That's what it is.
We'll just refer to it that way.
The German
Then we
Shepherd
don't have
moment.
to get into the gory details.
Our viewers know what the German Shepherd moment is.
Yeah.
Now so Alex Jones had a German Shepherd moment.
Okay.
I walked in and I went, oh, sure. What happened was I tuned into Alex about 2.5 years ago, and he started the show by literally talking about how well endowed he was for about 15 minutes.
Wow.
Literally 15 minutes of expounding on how beautiful he is downstairs and how I mean it, and like how many women he's had.
I remember hearing him a lot talking about how he was like having sex when he was 14 with like these older women, and I was like, isn't that like statutory rape?
First of all,
Isn't
you
that,
might get brought up on
isn't
charges.
that illegal?
But then again, I'm not tuning in for that, Alex. I don't care.
Yeah.
Go tell that to your Jewish ex-wife. Maybe she'll come back. No, but that was a tell for me because it was so repulsive that I couldn't really get past it. It was a German Shepherd moment for me.
You know what the German Shepherd moment for me was with him was this is funny because it involves two of these possible COs. When he had Stu Peters on his show, and Stu Peters started talking about how everything is controlled by that country from 1948.
Yeah.
And Alex Jones got so flustered and nervous, and like he couldn't even acknowledge it was just like the Candace Owen things, like they won't acknowledge it, they gaslight you. So instead of him saying, oh, that's an interesting point, or yeah, I need to look more into that, no, he totally brushed that aside, gaslit his audience, and said that wasn't happening, and totally like he like couldn't even hardly like get his words out. He was so flustered. So
Yeah.
when I saw that, I was like,
Well, now I'm realizing Alex Jones's role in the controlled opposition is to go, no, 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 no. There are conspiracies. Yes, yes, yes. But it's these ones.
yeah.
He goes, like, he did that the other day. So on Sunday night, he had a show and he was talking about this senator, and I can't remember his name, but it's a senator that we have from that country from 1948 who's probably got dual citizenship.
Oh, for sure.
He plays for the Angels and the Dodgers. So
Pitch for the Angel City, hits for the Dodgers.
exactly.
Same game.
Exactly. So he's got dual citizenship, and he comes out and he goes, if you say anything bad about the country from 1948, you have 5 years in jail. Just shut up.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Straight to
It's
jail.
worked very good in my country. So, anyways, Alex is playing that, and then he's going, no, 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 that's horrible. We have freedom of speech. We can say anything we want about anybody. But then he's going, okay, but these people are obsessed with that country from 1948. Let's talk about, how much we fund them in foreign aid, but then let's move on to all of the other problems. And it's like, that's his controlled opposition role, is to corral you away from that country from 1948 being as big a problem as it is.
Right.
And let's get back into the Chicoms and,
Yeah.
George Soros
Yeah.
and Bill Gates. No, that you have to talk about that country from 1948,
Right.
and you have to delve into their influence and how gnarly it is, because I think you look at someone like Bill Gates, he's just their puppet. He's their
Hmm.
front man.
Yeah.
So that's Alex was kind of so he had his German Shepherd moment where
Mhm.
you and I were able to go, ooh,
Yeah.
ew, because that's what it is.
Yeah,
Controlled opposition is kind of repulsive.
it is.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. So, back to Stu Peters. Stu
Stew.
Peters. Now, I'm not, I mean, I'm not really totally sure about his whole deal, but I have a theory about him. Um, so you were telling me that you think his well, we both think his backstory is sus. Like he says that he was like this, he was
He was Dog the Bounty Hunter.
he was a bounty hunter, and then he had like 7 friends on Facebook, and he was just complaining about everything, and now he's got a huge within
You know what?
within a year.
This is wrong. I'm gonna start a podcast, and I'm just
Yeah.
gonna suddenly have 2 podcast studios in 2 different states, and
Yeah.
10 million followers.
Exactly. Like overnight. Like
I'm just gonna do that.
he suddenly had that. But so that seems a little weird. But you know what I find weird now, and I think this could be really strange. It's like I kind of stopped listening to him because all he talks about is are those people from that country from 1948.
So maybe his controlled opposition role is to be the anti-Alex Alex.
Yes, he's to appeal to the people that so this is kind of gnarly. Remember you were telling me about that guy that you listened to who said that what they were trying to do was corral people and collect data and figure out
Ah, yes.
who was like
Goldstein.
who was basically hating on those people from that country from 1948. They want to figure out who are all the people who are like hating on those people
Yes.
and collect data and
Build a profile.
build a profile.
Mhm.
And it almost seems as if maybe that's Stu Peters' job because
Yeah.
all he talks about is that. And I kind of got like sick of it because I'm like, okay, there are other problems in this world, I think, that we need to talk about.
And he comes
you
out
know?
and he says, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, that country from 1948, totally, totally, totally."
Mhm.
And then you go and you comment and you go, "Totally, totally, totally." And then they go, "Oh, wait a second. This person that commented, put them in the database. We're gonna have to round them up." So there was so it was that guy Goldstein, David, I think it was Goldberg or Goldstein. He was definitely
Sounds like that country from
he was from that
1948.
country. But you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? He was from that country from 1948, but he prefaces the video. You can go find this. It's probably gone into
The way back,
the Wayback Machine. But what do they call it when it gets disappeared?
the archive. Oh, into the ether.
It gets yeah, I got thrown into the ether. I'm sure you'd have a hard time finding this video now.
Uh-huh.
I think I got it somewhere that I sent you.
Yeah.
I could probably go find it. So what happens is he comes out and he goes, first and foremost, I'm from that country from 1948, but I cannot align myself with the evil that they're about to do. That's how he
Wow.
starts.
Maybe he's controlled opposition.
Could be. Could be.
But what was his point?
So then he comes out and he says, okay, Trump already. So this will be a good segue into Trump. We can talk about him next.
Okay.
So he says that Trump, back in 2014, he met with that country from 1948, all of the powerful people who are calling all the shots. So probably Larry Fink probably was in that meeting.
For sure.
Because I'm the CEO of Earth, whether it's flat or round. So Larry Fink, I drove around. I found out. So anyways, so Larry Fink and other powerful, like BB was there.
Yeah.
People are talking bad about us. So
I doubt if BB was even born there. I think he grew up in America.
no, BB's from Poland.
Poland.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a Polak,
Yeah.
which you've heard the jokes. So, anyways, so Bibi is there. So Trump meets with Bibi, Larry Fink, and the other powerful people from 1948, and they go, "Good, good, good. So what you're going to do is you're going to be president. We don't have elections anymore, so we're going to install you. But what you're going to do is you're going to kind of blue pill your base, and we're going to get them thinking that you're doing a bunch of good stuff for them, but actually what you're doing is ushering in a one world government seated in Israel. Good, good, good. That's what your job is, Trump. You're going to usher in one world government. So, you just kind of talk about Greenland and how we'll just subsume them. We're going to do that
With everything.
with everything. And then you're going to be the king, the first king of the one world government based in Israel. So that's what David Goldstein put forth, is that was the plan. And they said that everything that he's done is a script. Biden's whole presidency was a script.
Yeah.
Trump's whole presidency is a script. We don't have elections. This is all contrived, and it's all leading towards this one world government. And
And complete digital surveillance.
complete digital surveillance, but not only that, now they've got, so remember he laid out two specific operations that they're doing that
Yeah.
are part of this CIA Mossad kind of. So now Palantir was created by the CIA and Mossad. So the two most evil entities on earth came up with Palantir.
Yeah.
And what does Palantir do? It surveils you and then gives you a score of whether or not we're going to kill you or not.
That is literally.
So So Palantir plays into those two programs that David Goldstein was talking about.
Mm,
Operation Pyogo, that's the one you're talking about. So
right.
you go tune into Stu Peters and you engage with the content. Now they go, good, good, good. So you're somebody who we need to exterminate. So they build a
Put on the
profile.
list.
You're on the Pyogo list.
You're going to be on the
Yeah.
train list.
So now you're on the train to, get to the Shabbos. But then there was Operation Pyogo, but then there's Operation Zephyr. And Operation Zephyr was, let's round them up and kill them. So first, see what happened is they realized that too many people are hip to that country from 1948.
Right.
There's too many. They thought they were going to be able to control everybody better.
And I think it's getting bigger and bigger.
Because what did Candace do? Candace was like, these people are so stupid. I can open up the comment section and just be like, oh, people are asking about Charlie Kirk's wife. Here, let me just handle it because I can manage these people's perceptions. I'm superior to them. The Culture Club thinks that way.
Mm-hmm.
They think that we're all just so easily just duped.
Right.
So they figured, well, we're just going to dupe these people, and what we're going to do is lead them to their
Their
slaughter.
demise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just going to go ahead and exterminate them. So that's what the guy said. So he said Trump has been in the Culture Club the whole time. And the whole program is to have a one world government and a huge extermination program based on building profiles for people who disagree with that country from 1948. So, hey,
Gnarly. Right.
Very nice.
So gnarly. So, we need to talk about this Joe Rogan character.
Well, let's talk about Trump first because we kind of segued into Trump.
Oh, okay. Trump first, and then
Because
yeah.
because that David Goldstein video, it talks a lot about Trump.
Okay.
So, what was your German Shepherd moment with Trump? Operation.
Operation Warp Speed.
That was the German
That was
Shepherd
it. That
moment.
was the German Shepherd moment.
Because I think you and I were both kind of like supportive of Trump.
Yeah, and we were like, oh, he wants people to have choices and freedom of speech and everything.
You
And
know what Trump did that was awesome?
what?
School choice.
Yeah,
I love that.
he did a lot of good things.
I took advantage of that.
Supposedly.
But I think what
Yeah.
it is it's cobalt bluing the base.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, because
if you're poisoning someone at your dinner party, you might serve them a nice appetizer.
yeah, and then it's like, you can point out all these like things that he's not doing right, but they're so cobalt blue that they're like, but look at all the wins, and like they make an excuse for everything.
Remember I told you about the Trump supporter, and I just went Operation Warp Speed.
Yeah.
And they went, I know, but look at the wins.
Yeah, look at the wins. And they just kind of brush the bad stuff under the rug,
And
like,
remember the one lady who argued with you, and you were like, "But no," and then um, she was like, "Oh my God, butterfly, you're so black-pilled."
yeah,
So you just think there's no hope?
like I was just doom and gloom because I was
Well,
pointing it out. That
would you rather have situational awareness or would you rather take a blue pill? We have to have situational awareness.
Yeah, I don't think wanting to be aware of what's happening is being black pilled. I think that's just being smart. Like
Well,
you want to know what's like going to happen, you know?
we've talked about how a black pill is a choice.
Right.
People act like, well, you can't really control being black pilled. No, you can.
Yeah. And I mean, like, if you have an enemy who is, about to kill you, wouldn't you rather know that than to just be like, no, I'm just going to take a blue pill and pretend it's not happening?
He's a friend of mine.
Isn't it better to know so you can prepare and like make some choices to protect yourself?
You know what I
You
think
know?
people want to do is they just want to act like everything's hunky dory until they finally croak.
Exactly.
And then, oh, I got killed. Oh well, I knew you were going to kill me, but at least I enjoyed the buffet while I'm here. I mean, whatever. So Trump, Operation Warp Speed. Why is that a German Shepherd moment for him? Because well, like we've talked about, it was predicated on two lies. One of the lies was that these pokies weren't already locked and loaded. We fast tracking and get him done to save lives. That was a total lie. So Trump is a liar.
Right.
He's a polished salesman,
Right.
and he's selling the culture club agenda.
Yeah.
And then the other lie was, well, we don't have any other viable treatments. Don't be talking about hydroxychloroquine and that horse paste.
Mm. Even though he was talking about that for a while, he completely like flipped, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Well, that's
weird.
another thing that they do. I mean, remember he was like, remember you can use bleach and lights. You can use light. You can cure people with light.
Mhm.
Which maybe they can.
Yeah.
That was gnarly. Did you see that?
That's probably how all of the politicians like didn't get sick.
Yeah.
You know what I
They
mean?
go through some special thing when they
Some
walk in their
special, like,
office.
yeah, some special blue light or something.
Wow.
Ultraviolet.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, because they love life
I
extension.
bet Bill Gates has like an ultraviolet cleansing room in his house or something.
You would think he
You
would
know,
look better.
I
Every time I
know.
see him, he just looks gross.
He's gross. It's because, people without a soul, I don't think you can
His
hide
skin
that.
looks
It comes
gross.
out. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? If you're soulless, it comes out to the surface.
So Trump, we feel like is CEO.
Yeah.
And so now we've talked about Candace Owens, her initials were CEO.
I know it's odd.
And then Stu Peters,
Mm-hmm.
Alex Jones, Donald Trump,
RFK.
RFK. But who's the biggest podcaster on earth?
Joe Rogan.
And what does he say about us? He got mad at us, remember?
Yeah, he says that those people that are talking about rabbit holes,
He's rabid.
they're doing a disservice to all of us real conspiracy
Hmm.
theorists.
Doing a disservice to people
Like,
like me.
like he's got like a badge, like some kind of degree in conspiracy theory.
You know what it
He's
is?
got his conspiracy theory degree, and we're doing a
Yeah.
disservice.
I'm a certified conspiracy theorist. What he's kind of saying is, no, I corral your takeaway, and dude, I roll around with other men in tight pants. I'll kick your ass.
Yeah,
Shut up. You
yeah,
take my takeaway.
yeah,
With the JFK assassination, I tell you, there is a conspiracy, but I tell you what it is.
yeah.
And stop talking about that country from 1948, Joe Rogan says, because they pay my bills.
He's managing the conspiracy theory.
You know why Joe Rogan can't run afoul of that country from 1948? Because he has Chris Robinson
Yeah.
and he has Robert Downey Jr.
You know what? I think he's actually maybe one of the most dangerous COs because he has such a huge following and he appeals to all of the conservative blue pillars.
Totally.
So a lot of the people who could, maybe like see what's going on with some of this other stuff, they actually listen to him and believe him. And so he's definitely guiding them into a certain direction.
You know what? Because even like 60 something year old conservatives are still totally mesmerized by celebrities.
Totally. So when he
Like
gets
they're like John Voight. Oh my God, it's John Voight.
so when he gets those like old rockers on his show, like doesn't he like to get a lot of those old rockers?
Totally.
And
It's like I'm Maynard,
he like
Tool.
he
I roll around in the gym with other men in tight jeans too.
yeah, and it totally appeals to all those like old like boomers that like, could probably hear some of the truth and maybe be swayed, but they listen to him and they kind of like follow him.
Well, I know so many intelligent people who are totally blue pill.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Intelligent.
Totally.
Like I'm like, dude, you're intelligent. They take their intelligence and just take a blue pill.
Hmm.
And people are just like enamored. Like if somebody from a movie or a television show or a professional athlete comes out and says something, it's like valid.
Yeah. They just believe it. That's controlled opposition.
Mel Gibson was on there.
Oh yeah, Mel Gibson. Do you think he's controlled opposition?
Totally. He was on there talking about oh my God, no, this surgery that I got. Oh, dude, no, you don't understand that we can cure everything now. We cure everything now. You don't understand. But unfortunately, they're not giving it. So, you ever notice that there's takeaways on a Joe Rogan podcast? Have you ever listened to one, the whole show?
I've never listened to a whole show.
It's hard.
It's hard.
So he's always giving you these takeaways. So
Like what you should do.
well, like Mel Gibson's on there, and the takeaway was, oh no, we have cures for cancer and stuff, but unfortunately, most of the plebs just aren't going to have access to it. You don't have the money and you don't have the connections. So, but dude, we get to look. So Joe Rogan and him are like fist bumping for all their life extension technologies that they have access to because they're in the elite.
Wow.
So that was
So
cool. That
disgusting.
always felt good.
That's so disgusting. It's
But
like
then,
that when you listen to where the guy was writing a book and he was like, don't even bother. Like,
oh, well, that was the next one I was going to say. So
yeah.
the takeaway from that guy, so he has I can't remember that dude's name. Doesn't matter. He already sold his soul to Satan because that's why Satan goes, good, good, good. No, you sold your soul. Okay, you're booked for next month. So he gets to come on Joe Rogan and he gets to talk about his book coming out. That is how you become a culture club member. You go on Joe Rogan, you talk about your book. Now your book goes into the New York Times bestseller list and you sell millions of copies. That guy's book was talking about different ways that we were traumatized during the Vietnam War and how Walter Cronkite's coming into your living room and showing you all the dead people in Vietnam every day at dinner. That was MK Ultra trauma.
Right.
So he was talking about that, which I thought was good. But then Joe Rogan goes, dude, first of all, the human brain sucks. Like,
We
dude,
should all get chips.
you should just get a chip. You're gonna need to get a chip. You're not gonna be able to live in the world coming up until you get a chip. Because your brain sucks. You forget stuff. Your brain sucks. So there's that. That's one of your takeaways. But then what was the other one that he did, which was so lame? He goes, dude, you don't even understand, bro. Don't even bother like being a writer. Don't bother writing poetry. Don't bother writing scripts, dude. But in the time it took you to walk up the stairs to my up to my podcast studio, so now I know his podcast studio is like upstairs, which I didn't need to know that, but whatever. You know, just in the time it took you to walk up the stairs, 300 scripts AI wrote 300 scripts. So, dude, just don't even, just look, we're fucked. Remember? We're fucked. But wait a second,
We're fucked, but everybody should get a brain chip, and I'm making millions of dollars. So
I'm a billionaire. No, he's a billionaire.
basically,
I'm a billionaire and I have, like every time I do a podcast, like 25 million people listen, but we're fucked.
yeah.
You're gonna be broke your whole life, probably a slave, and probably gonna be
So
exterminated.
don't even bother like being creative or doing anything like that because you're never gonna make it.
So you know what he does is he goes into his 2.5 hours of talking about nothing. So he goes, okay, so just so you understand, audience, you're fucked. You're never gonna make any money, and you're probably gonna be a slave and get exterminated. But hey, Chris Robinson, how's it going? Oh, you're an armchair occultist, and you went down to Jamaica. Let's talk about that. And then, so I think what all these people who listen to Joe Rogan, they go, we're a slave? Oh, I forget about that though. That's Chris Robinson. Let's listen. And so they're just like,
Shiny object. He's taking
yeah.
the shiny
And then,
object.
well, I forgot all about my slavery
Yeah.
and the fact that I have no chance. So Joe Rogan is the definitive controlled opposition.
Yeah,
What is he doing? They talk about subjects and corral your takeaway.
exactly. You know
Did
what?
he have a German Shepherd moment for you?
Um, I think like his whole thing was a German Shepherd moment for me.
He's kind of disgusted you right from the start.
Yeah, I just could see through him. Like he just did, I don't know, just
You know what
too many followers.
you know what you don't fall for is when people have this like I'm cool.
Yeah.
Like you know who he's like? He's like Sean Penn.
Uh,
And he's like Eddie Vedder.
yeah.
He talks in a low voice and he talks kind of slow and he kind of talks like I'm sorry, but I'm much cooler than you.
Yeah. What about Russell Brand?
I've been thinking about him.
Yeah.
You ever watch that movie, Get Him to the Greek?
Yeah, I did.
I think he was like not having to do a lot of method acting for that. I think that was kind of like who he is.
Right. I think
He's
so.
like this immoral, bottomless pit who just would have sex with any woman who
Oh yeah.
anybody.
He's talked about that. He says that's how he was.
I
But
think
he's
it's
turned over a new leaf
I don't buy that.
and he's now a Christian.
Mm-mm. I don't buy that. I think that
I think that's his script.
I think
He's
he's
supposed to
yep.
appeal to the people who are like, oh, you've been a bottomless pit all your life, but look at you can become a good person now. Now listen to me.
Satan sat down with him and said, "Okay, look, no one's gonna watch movies with you anymore. Nobody cares.
So here's a new job for you.
You have a chance. Here's what you can do." And then Russell Brand was like, "Anything. I'll do anything.
Yeah.
I have no soul. I'll do anything." And Satan goes, "Good, good, good.
I'll wash the dishes.
No, I'll do anything." And Satan's like, "Will you have sex with a dude?" Just totally. Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna make you do that. But what you're gonna do is we have this new platform coming out. It's called Rumble, and all of the stupid conservatives are gonna think that this is like where the revolution's taking place, and where where the resistance gathers,
Hmm.
and we're gonna plant that seed, and they're gonna drink that Kool-Aid, and you're gonna be a part of that. And Russell Brand was like, "Cool, cool, good, 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 good." He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna have a big like 225,000 people are gonna listen to every episode. Whoa, that's great." But what you're gonna do is you're gonna act like now you're a Christian and that you and Katy Perry have broken it off and you just were, you know, your whole time in the entertainment industry was really eye-opening and you realize how debaucherous it was. And so now you've given your life over to Jesus and you want to talk about the conspiracies that you see happening and you're on board. And so you're gonna blue pill the conservatives. Sound good? And he goes, "Good, yeah. Oh yeah, that's good." Because he's like all British, you know?
Hmm. Um, so Tucker Carlson,
Tucker.
he's a big one. One of the German Shepherd moments for me was he's there's been a bunch of pictures taken of him where he's wearing that little red tie around his wrist, which is supposed to be like the Kabbalah, and Madonna wears
Oh,
one too.
no.
And he said that it's a red rubber band because his dad was in the newspaper business. I don't buy that. So he's still
Well,
wearing a red
his
rubber
dad
band.
sounds like a culture club.
Well, his dad was in the CIA.
Yeah.
So that was weird. And he did something when he was on Fox News. I had a German Shepherd moment about him when he was on Fox News, and I cannot remember what it was, but he totally flipped his opinion about like his what he was talking about did not make sense with his followers at all. And I was like, that there's something up with this guy. Well, then not too long later, he was supposedly fired. Um,
That was script.
yeah, and has his own show. And now he's bigger than ever. And I do like him. Like, I like listening to him. And same with Candace Owens. Like, I think he's likable and he's entertaining and he does have some good information. But I don't know, a lot of like his guests that he gets on, it seems very kind of scripted and he's always like agreeing with them, and something seems fake. You know what I mean?
Well, we talked about how good controlled opposition has to be
Has to
really
be likable.
likable and palatable. It's like, if you're gonna poison somebody, you want them to eat the food that they're poisoning them
Right.
with.
So you can't give them like some old, like cold, greasy piece of like chicken nugget from last night. You
No.
got to give him like a juicy hamburger or
Like,
something
you know what
delicious.
you made the other night? You made banana bread with chocolate.
Yeah,
That was so good.
I brought you a piece.
Like, if you wanted to poison me, that would have been a good thing.
I could just bring you some banana chocolate chip bread.
I would have ate a whole bunch of it
Oh
and
my
just
God.
died here. So that's what they have to do with CO. It's got to be delicious.
Right.
Candace is tasty to you,
Mm-hmm.
and Tucker's kind of tasty to me.
Yeah.
But I saw the German Shepherd moment with him kind of a long time ago.
Yeah.
When I learned that his dad was in the CIA, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, that was a German Shepherd moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because if your dad's in the CIA, that means Tucker isn't somebody who forged a career in journalism through hard work and determination.
Right. Right. We're gonna have another episode about connections. That because there's a few too many coincidences and connections that take place with these people who just become super successful and at the top of their whatever their category is in the world, they seem to just be the top of it. And when you start looking into like their backstory, they all have connections. So that's going to be a whole other episode.
I can't trust Tucker or Trump because of their hair. Both of them.
He's got gray hair. It looks natural, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always think, God, he's like,
His hair.
yeah, it should be,
It's so TV perfect
it's perfect.
that it's almost like maybe he's a clone.
Ooh.
What if Tucker's a clone? His dad's in the CIA.
And they just cloned him. Who knows?
I mean, that guy in 1971 came out and said, "We do human cloning, and it's going to become a big problem." So, anyways, that's one theory. But the other theory is Tucker had Nick Fuentes, who's another
I
CO guy.
was just going to bring him up.
So they had an interview like last week or something like that,
Hmm.
right?
And Nick Fuentes is like kind of like put out there as this sort of underdog, right?
So
He's kind of the underdog of this realm, right?
so Nick Fuentes comes out and his whole interview with Tucker is like, well, here's my whole backstory. I'm from Chicago and I was just, and it's like, okay, so why does he have to do his backstory? Because people like you and me are calling him CO. So he's got to come out and address that.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and just
Brush that all aside.
brush that all aside. Let's go ahead and just contradict all of those fears. I'm the real deal, Holyfield.
Hmm.
I came out, I resisted the mainstream media because that's what Tucker and Nick Fuentes' story is now.
Yeah.
It's we fought the man. Remember, I fought the law and the law won. That's what they pretty much are singing. They're both like, I fought the law and the law won. No, you guys didn't fight the law. You guys are the man. You guys are CO. Nick Fuentes comes out and he starts talking about his whole backstory. And I'm going, why are you foisted on people? Why do you have a big audience? There's no way.
Right.
There's no way.
Yeah.
And, I think Tucker does the same thing where he plays Winston really good, or he plays O'Brien
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Because what does O'Brien do? He goes, "Yeah, no, dude, yes, but no."
So, um, somebody who I think is really great and did a lot of really good work during Cooties and does a lot of investigating, who seems totally legit, is Peggy Hall.
Yeah,
Now, she seems like the real deal, but
we've talked about how CO has to taste really good.
we are going to just keep an open mind, like we always say.
How many followers does she have?
She's got like 200,000 followers on YouTube, and
That's sus.
that's sus because you get banned from YouTube just for mentioning that.
What was the fact check?
The fact check was, what was it?
No.
Satan said, "Yeah."
So no. So we did a fact check for because we did an episode where you interviewed Peter Thiel,
Hmm.
remember?
Yeah.
And Peter Thiel had just been to Bilderberg. And so
Right.
I was going, so you were like, well, what's Bilderberg? And I was like, well, Bilderberg was a conference that was started by Satan in 1950. And so
We got
I
flagged.
got a flag.
We
I
got
got a flag,
flagged.
and the flag, and then the fact check said, excuse me, excuse me. Bilderberg was not started by Satan.
We talked to Satan, and he confirmed that he did not
It
start
wasn't him, it was his minions. So you need to clarify. So there's no way that Peggy Hall is going to have 250,000 followers on that platform unless she's made some kind of an agreement with them and they like what she's doing. Because I think the Culture Club has to kind of like what you're doing. And you can come out and say, what I'm realizing is you can come out and say anything you want about that country from 1948 now. But what you have to be doing, I think it's not about what they're saying, it's about the takeaway.
Right.
The key thing is what is your takeaway? So you listen to this podcast and now you turn it off. What's going through your mind that's different than when you started listening to it?
Because they need to corral the takeaway. So I think that brings us to what it all stems from is that country from 1948, right?
It seems like they're managing your perception of that country from 1948 because
One way or the other.
if you were to like, you know what Alex Jones always does? He goes, okay, so let's just say we just completely get rid of all that people from 1948. And I'm like, yeah, dude, everything gets a lot better just by doing that. Just by doing that. But he likes to act like that's just completely ridiculous, you know? And then they bring up these platitudes like, what do they always say? No man should be punished for the sins of his ancestors. And you don't punish a whole people for the crimes of some. Okay, maybe that's true. But it just so happens that people from that country from 1948 completely control our Senate. They completely control our House of Representatives. They completely control our pharma. They completely control our education. They completely control our media. They completely control the music. They completely control the movies. So you can't talk about that?
That's
You,
a little sus.
yeah, that's sus.
Totally.
So the controlled opposition is saying, stop pointing that out. Talk about, yeah, there is a conspiracy, obviously, but talk about these things, you know? And they want to make it, Candace is really cool and she's really funny. And, people, I can see you totally digging her, but she's guiding you into the prison.
Now, one question I've had before is could some of these people not even realize that they're controlled opposition? Like maybe, um, you know, what I kept pointing out with Candace before I had the German Shepherd moment was she even mentioned that she thinks she's had handlers now. Like she didn't realize they were guiding her into a certain direction. And so maybe they don't even realize it, um but my German Shepherd moment with her this week where she was like, nothing suspicious about Erica Kirk. That was like an eye opener. But do you think it's possible that some of them don't know that they're controlled opposition?
No, no, I think they all know. I think the reason that she was talking about those things is because I think Candace Owens has a team
Yeah.
working on her podcast with her, and her team is responsible for gleaning what people are saying and addressing it,
Yeah.
and then corralling people back. That's, I think, what it is.
So,
That's the operation.
yeah.
The operation is let's glean what people are saying out
Mhm.
there, including our podcast probably,
Right.
and then address it and then corral.
Totally. I think that's it.
Like what? So what were you saying? You were saying Candace is totally addressing that country from 1948. She's totally talking about it, and she's totally addressing um,
The anomalies with the,
the anomalies with Charlie Kirk.
yeah.
She's talking about that. And you're like, wow, that's great. I think what she does is she looks at the commentary that's going around and she goes, okay, so people are observing these things. Let's talk about those things, but let's have the takeaway from those things, get them back on the plantation where they belong.
Mhm.
You can't just be like, excuse me, I'm black. You don't talk about plantations. But I hate to say it, but she's kind of like a massa. She's like, you know what she is? Have you ever seen that movie Django Unchained?
Yeah.
So you know who Candace Owens is? She's Samuel Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
So remember Samuel Jackson goes, you're gonna let him sleep in the bed? You got to burn the sheets. So like back in the day, what that movie is suggesting is that some black slaves were like happy to enslave the other blacks.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Candace is like that.
Mhm.
She'd be really mad for me to make that analogy, but she's like that. She's like a black that's corralling other blacks into the slaves.
And whites. Everybody.
But yeah, but no, but like in that
Yeah.
context, that so she's like that. But so you have to be very shrewd because look at how it took you a while. Because I remember you were kind of saying no, no. And we kind of like were just like at a disagreement with Candace.
Well, yeah, I mean, some of these things take a while. It's just like not everybody is ready to hear every message at the same time. That's why, like, when you're trying to like explain things to people, not everybody's going to hear the same message the same way. So certain messages might appeal to some people and they might open their eyes, whereas other people might hear the same thing and be like, no, 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 I don't believe that. So I think it takes a while for people to, accept and realize these things. You know what I mean?
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think what in so you have to have a German Shepherd moment.
Right.
And in order to have a German Shepherd moment, you have to be red velvet cake.
Yeah.
What did we say red velvet cake is? Red velvet cake is a red pill
And a white pill.
and a white pill. So it makes a nice swirl.
Yeah.
And it's red and white, and it's red velvet cake. If you have red velvet cake, then your discernment is going to be acute.
Yeah.
And if your discernment is acute, you're going to have a German Shepherd moment with these people. You're going to
Eventually.
see because controlled opposition is such a disgusting trait.
It is. It's really insidious.
What you're doing is you're aligning yourself with tyranny to enslave people.
Yeah.
That's not
And
cool.
it's
It's
not.
not attractive and
No.
it's not cool, it's not funny.
No.
It's lame. So
Yeah.
it's a German Shepherd moment.
So what's the white pill?
The white pill is be red velvet cake.
Yeah.
Be red velvet cake because what you need to have right now is you need to have extra acute discernment because you have all these deceivers out there who are wolves in sheep's clothing who come out there and act like they're your friend and they act like they're telling you the truth.
Ooh,
Oh,
epiphany.
epiphany,
I
epiphany.
finally had one. That just made me think of all the pastors out there who are leading their flocks astray. They're wolves.
Talk about
They're wolves in sheep's clothing. Yeah, there's so many. I mean, we could go on and on, but people need to have discernment with that and really pay attention because I think they put so much faith in their pastors that they probably don't even realize that a lot of them are doing this too. They're pushing them in a certain direction.
You know
You
what?
know,
I think maybe some people might not agree with Firefly on this, but you could adopt Firefly's rule. Assume the worst and then be pleasantly surprised.
so I think your rule is probably valid,
It's the
and
way you got to do it.
it's probably the safe route. Guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah,
So I'd like to address our audience.
please.
I would like to hear from our audience and hear what your German Shepherd moment was. Like, write in the comments, like, if you had a German Shepherd
Yes.
moment about any of these controlled opposition people, or maybe some that we didn't mention. We didn't even talk about David Icke. That's
Maybe we'll do an episode
a
on
whole
him.
episode
He's
on
an
him.
episode.
Yeah, he's an episode. But I would love to hear comments from our listeners about what their German Shepherd, one little thing that opened their eyes to certain controlled opposition.
It's a
That'd be
German
great.
Shepherd moment because it's a disgusting realization.
Yeah, it's like, oh no.
And the other thing too is when you're um, when you're listening to our podcast, keep your ears peeled because we're creating a new podcast website that we're going to be announcing soon.
Yeah.
And now people are going to be able to come to our website and buy merch and support us
Yeah.
and comment
Mhm.
and see any of our episodes. And I'm going to put like little sound bites so you can just go and like glean little sound bites on certain topics.
That'd be great.
So we'll keep you guys posted.
Okay. Sounds good.
Should we talk? Should we stop talking?
I think so.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.